Hi everyone, in this tutorial we're going to talk about arrays. We haven't looked at arrays yet, but arrays are an extremely important part of programming. And we're going to see what they look like in JavaScript. So just to give you an idea of what they are, okay, an array is a kind of variable. It's not a primitive data type, but it's still a variable. And it's basically an ordered collection of values. And inside this collection, there's many different elements of it. Now, the elements that we put inside of our array can be many things. They can be any kind of variable. They could be numbers. They could be strings. We can put another array as one of the elements of the array, and we can even put an object in one of the places in the array. Okay, so let's look at how to create an array. So we can declare a new array with var or without var. A is set to new array. Okay, and let's put a few values in our array. Okay, so the index of the array starts at 0, just the same as we were talking about strings before, and we were looking for the index of a string. They start at 0. Arrays start at 0 too. So 0 is the first position in the array, 1 is the second position in the array, and so on. Okay, so here in my first position I have it set to a 5, and 1 is set to float, and I even put a Boolean value here for false. And we can make sure this is working by writing it out. And here I'm going to put A, I'm going to put in the first position of the array, and we're going to refresh, and we have 5. Okay, and let's put a bit more stuff in here. I just want to check to make sure something I said was true. I said maybe we don't need the var keyword. The best way to find that out is test, and if this still works, yeah, it still works. So we could use the var keyword, or we can leave that out. That works fine. In the fourth position of the array, I'm putting an object inside of it here. Okay, so an object is similar to an array in JavaScript, and this object, objects can have properties and methods like we talked about before. And here I have two properties in it. I have name, which is set to Anthony, and age, and here's my age. Okay, so let's try to write that out. And we get this back, object, object. Okay, so it's refusing to tell us all the things in the object. It's just telling us that we have an object in this position. What we can do here is we can put on another brackets here, and we can put the name of the property here that we want to look at. So here A3, okay, it knows it's an object, and we want to see what this property is equivalent to. And we refresh, and it's my name. Okay, so that's one way we can access the properties of an object which is inside an array. Lastly, for this one, I actually put a part of the DOM in for this one. So the DOM, we haven't talked about that either, but it's always accessible to us in JavaScript. And here, what I'm looking at is the top level object, which is the window, and then a child node of that, which is a document, and a child node of the document, which is title. And I want to output this. So if I change this to that one here and go like so, okay, we get nothing. And I'll tell you why we're getting nothing right now. Okay, here you'll notice I'm using Firefox here, and the reason I'm using Firefox is because there's a plugin for Firefox which is called Firebug, and Firebug is very good for us being able to look at the DOM and see what's in there. Okay, so the DOM you can think of is like under the hood of the browser. Everything that's there, the title, the width of the browser, all sorts of things. Okay, so I have Firebug installed here, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to click Inspect Element with Firebug. So we're inspecting the document here. And let's see what we have here. Okay, so here I'm looking at the DOM, and let's go down here. Okay. So actually, right now, the part that I right-clicked to look at it, and it sent me right into the document part of the DOM. And I know this because I see title here, and title is a child of the document, and document is a child of the window. The window is, well, the window is everything. The window is the top level object, and then document is basically this white rectangle we have here, and we have many things inside of our document. So we can see right now title is set to an empty string. Okay, oops, what happened there? Let's go back. Now we're in the window, and window and document. We're going to click on that, and we're going to go down to title. Okay, it's an empty string. Why? Because so here I told it to write it out, and it did what I asked it to, and it output nothing. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to give this thing a title. We'll just call it, well, let's call it arrays. Okay, save that, reload here, and now it says arrays. Okay, let's go down here, window, let's take a look. Oops, sorry, we have to go window and then document. Under document, and we go down to title, and we see title is set to arrays. Okay, so now it has a value here, and we output that. It's not necessary to put, we can try taking off window here. I know this is still going to work. Refresh, that's fine. Okay, it found the document object, it found the title. We can try, let's just try taking off document, save, and that didn't work. Okay, so it needs to know what object we're looking at and then the property of it, and it's going to give you the value of that property. Okay, let's do a bit more. There's different ways we can declare our variables. Okay, let's look at some other styles. Here I have it all on one line. So this B that I'm creating here is exactly the same as array. I just declared it in a different way. I put new array, and then they both have new array, and here I just put inside all of the values that I wanted to put, which are the same as above, okay, except for this one. And I put them inside, inside the new array function, and I separated them with commas, and that's going to work fine too. If I bring this down here, and I change this to our B, let's go 2, and I refresh, false. Okay, it's exactly the same. Let's look at another one. Okay, here we have an array literal. So we see here var c is equal, and I just put it inside these square brackets. Okay, the rest of things are exactly the same. And let's test it. See if that works. Now we're looking at the C array, which has the same kind of elements in it. Refresh, and that's fine. It's going to work just fine. Okay, let's see if we can create this without the var keyword there. See if that works, and it works fine. Okay, so var, no var, we can declare our array like that. Let's look at another one. Here I have a for loop, and I don't think I want to talk about that in this lesson. We can look at its structure here, and what the purpose of this for loop is to loop through all the elements of an array and then output them. And let's look at that in the next tutorial.